Blessings, blessings, and blessings. Good afternoon, good morning, evening, good night, good whatever time it may be in your hemisphere that you are seeing my face or hearing my voice. Welcome to Supernatural Success. I am your host, Dr. Coylette James. Man, I'm excited. I am excited that we have crossed over into 2025, and this is my first time sharing supernatural success with you in the new year. What an awesome, awesome privilege it is to be a part of 2025, to be a part of what God is doing in this earth realm in this appointed season. You know, we should never take lightly that God allows us to cross over into a new year. We should never take lightly that God allows us to open up our eyes for a new day. Seriously, I'm so sorry. Excuse me, because I have this incessant cough that has been just dealing with me the past few days. But we are going to get through this broadcast. So if I have to take a break periodically and just take a drink as my sinuses are draining, and just take a deep breath. We are going to do this. All right. Now, back to what I was saying. We are sincerely blessed that God allows us every morning to open up our eyes. We are sincerely blessed that He will allow us to get through a day and rest at night. Equally blessed is the fact that He allowed us to cross over into a new year. A new year references a new renewal period, a new reset, a new refresh. Is so many different things that come with it. We, as the body of Christ, as His ecclesia, we really don't deal in resolutions, but what we do deal with is in resets. God allows us to reset. One of the reasons I believe, and I can't speak for everybody else, but one of the reasons I believe that New Year resolutions set us up for defeat is because we always go into the new year and we give this resolution. We are resolved to do this, that, or the other for the upcoming year. And normally, about 15 days into the first month, which we're almost there, all of that goes out the window. Like, you start, you have your gym membership, you go into the gym, and it just peters out. You're going to stop eating sweets and you're going to take better care of your health and you're going to do your supplements, and that peters out. I am encouraging you, instead of quote unquote resolutions, do a reset. And the focus of your reset is, Lord, I'm going to reset my affection for you. I am going to reset how I show you my love, how I show up in the midst of various different situations to represent you as your child. Number one, as your son or your daughter, how I show up and I represent the family name. Secondly, how I show up as your son in that position. So sonship in God is not relegated to gender. Sonship is a position. So we start off as His creation. We are all God's creation. Some people say we're all God's children. I bear to differ. Some of us are out here orphans because you've not accepted Him as your father. It's not because He doesn't want to father you. It's not because His love is not there and readily available for you, but you have not accepted Him in that position. So you are His creation because you can't do anything about that. He created you, and He created you in His image and in His likeness. That was on Him. That was not by your will or your definition or your desire. It was His desire to do. All right. So let's get that straight. So we're not all his children, but we are all His creation. We cross over into adoption, the spirit of adoption, the place of adoption as His child when we accept Him as our Father. We accept Christ as our Lord and our elder brother and our example for how to walk out and live properly and represent the family name. He came here. He's God, but he came in flesh to represent our Father in this earth realm, to be an example for us so that we know how to properly represent him as well. So we get into that place of being his child because now we've accepted him as our Father. And let me say something about a father's love. A father's love is unconditional, but it will correct you. And sometimes it will chasten you. But for the most part, he will correct you because he doesn't want you going the wrong way. A father is that one that affirms you. A father is that one that should guide you. All right. Now, yes, your mother nurtures you. Your mother shapes and molds you in many, many different manners because she's that one that's more normally hands-on than your father. Here's the beauty of God, because God incorporates and encompasses all of that. Mother, father, sister, brother, whatever, whatever you can imagine or fathom. He is all that, the I am that I am of everything. All right. So, but from the standpoint of a father's love, which is what he has for us, he is that affirmation. He affirms us. He lets us know who we are. This is important. This is important so that when we do our renewal, when we do our reset, when we do our refresh going into the new year, if we're doing a reset of, Lord, let my love align with your love. Let how I represent you align with my love for you. 99.9% of the time, you will not misrepresent someone you truly love. In fact, you will go out of your way to represent them properly. I remember when my husband and I first got together, 30 some years ago. We've been remarried on the second marriage for 30 years. So this was much, much before that. Anyhow, I remember um, not always approving of his style of clothing. And the reason for it was my husband, when I met him, he was in the Air Force and he had been stationed overseas for quite a while, and he had just came stateside, and he was still in the mindset of the clothes, yeah, beforehand. And it was like, boo boo, it's a new day. But anyway, I'm bringing this up to say this, that I started attending to his attire and helping him in his dress. And here was my thing. And I'm saying this just to kind of put a little context on representing the one that you love. I made the statement, baby, you will never have to worry about me misrepresenting you out there. And guess what? You are representative of me as your wife, or as your mate. And so therefore I'm not gonna let you go out there and misrepresent either. Because yeah. I don't want them out there saying, girl, did you see her husband? Did you see what he had on? Because I promise you, I'm gonna make sure that I'm representing you right. This is just a little humor in this. But like and here's another example of it. If you remember when you were growing up and your parents would tell you, you represent whatever your last name is, you represent that plan, so to speak. And so you're going to represent it well. I remember my nephew came to visit, and he was going to the YMCA, and this one particular day he got bullied by some kids there. He came home and he told my mother, which was his grandmother, I'm not going back. And this was because these kids had bullied him while he was there. He had to be, I was like, no, I was 14. So he was about 11 at the time. And she told him, she said, you're a Sparks. Sparks don't run. Okay. It's like, no, you going back. Okay. But you know what is really, really funny? It's humorous today because now he's in his 60s. But do you know he still remembers that moment as a defining moment in his life where it was just like, I'm a Sparks, therefore I don't run. And here, 60 years later, he still remembers that. So I'm saying this to say, when you represent your father well. When you go out there and you are a member of his ecclesia, his governmental body, you're a member of his family, you are his child, you are one of his chosen ones, then when you go out there, you need to represent him properly. So don't go out there misstepping. Don't go out there, how can I say this? Misrepresenting. I think that's probably the best way to say it. The best thing, the easiest way to not misrepresent him is to represent him out of the love that you have for him, because he always represents you in his love. Always. He will cover you, he will stand with you, he will do everything needed to make sure that as his child, you are good. So you need to make sure that as his child, you are out there making sure that people understand how good he is. How about that? Make sure that you are representing him properly so people understand and can see the goodness and the glory of God in everything that you do. So, in this refresh and in this reset of going forth, you've got to be looking forward. You can't be looking back. I took some notes this morning in church, and I want to share one of them that, God just he put it in this context for me. In order to go where he is calling me, I have to look away from where I am. So, in order for you to get to the place that God is calling you to, you've got to look away from the place that you are, because you are not to be steadfast in that place. You are to be moving forward. God is a wheel in the middle of the wheel. He is always turning, He is always going forward. And that's what you need to be doing, is going forward. So, it's a reset, it's a refresh. Lord, let me refresh myself in you. Let me get in your presence. Let me make sure that I am walking in the midst of your presence so that I can make sure my ear is attuned to what you're saying. I don't want to miss you. I don't want to miss you. And the only way that I can clearly stay connected to you is in our intimacy. In our intimacy, his intimacy as our father. It is not a distorted sexual intimacy. It is that relationship. It is that place that you get in God where he will clearly carry you through whatever it is that you need to walk through. It is an incredible place to be. Incredible place to be in God, to know that he is ever present, to know that as a father, he will always watch out for you. He will correct you when needed. Let me tell you, I have a testimony, and this is my testimony. When it comes to God correction, in order for the blessing to come forth. There are times when we want to walk in our own stead. We want to be steadfast in what we want. Okay. You know that little temperamental child that I want what I want and I want it now. And sometimes we play that role with God, and that should never be. But we'll get there. And I'm a living witness. So I'm going to be transparent in mine so that you can understand the importance of yours. Okay. Uh, 2023, I had made up my mind I was going to leave my job. I had made up my mind years prior to 2018. I wanted to leave, and I prayed about it. And in my praying about it, the Lord spoke to me and he said, do you have enough faith to stay? not to leave, but to stay. He knew that I trusted him because in my prayer, I was like, you know what, you are my source, not this job. So I know I'm gonna be all right. So I'm ready to go. So, give me direction on where I need to be looking toward and where I need to be going. Okay. Because I am ready to go. So as I'm doing this, as I'm saying this, God says to me, do you have enough faith to stay? Because he knew my faith was strong enough to go. Do I have enough faith to stay? What did that mean? Do I trust him enough to stay where I'm at, even though I want to go? So I stayed. That was 2018. 2023 comes along, and I'm like, okay. I have had that faith thing. I stayed. Lord, I'm ready to go. But I didn't say it to him. I'm saying it to myself. I did not consult him the way I consulted him in 2018. But what I did do was tell everybody around me I am leaving on December 31st. So in September of 2023, I was at a retreat, Mercy Ministries retreat, and it was early in the morning, and I'm laying in bed. And as I'm sitting there and just communing with God and, and going through some things that we had dealt with within the retreat and everything, he spoke to me and he said, you have told everybody you are leaving your job December 31st. Why haven't you asked me? Now that's a father. That's a father. Okay. And I immediately replied, because I didn't want you to tell me to stay. I was honest. See, when you're in intimacy with your father, you're honest with him because he already knows. He knows what's in your heart. He already knew before he asked me, but yet and still he posed the question. The same way Jesus posed the question to Paul, Paul, do you love me? Or Peter, to Peter, do you love me? And he asked him 3 times. He knew the answer. He knew Peter loved him, but he needed Peter to understand the depth of what he was asking. When God asked me why hadn't I asked him, he already knew the answer, but he needed me to come face to face with the fact that I had not asked him. And I said, because I didn't want you to tell me to stay. There are many of you that are watching this right now, and you're in a situation and you're in a place that you are ready to leave. And you don't want to talk to the Father about it because you have made it up in yourself. You, not you're being released, not God is taking you on, not God is blessing you with something else, but you in your flesh are ready to go. And you need to be talking to your father because your father is speaking to you through me right now saying, why haven't you talked to me about this? Why haven't you brought this before me? Why haven't we communed in this? So all he said to me after I answered him, because I didn't want you to tell me to stay, his response was, trust me. That was it. Trust me. Not stay, not I'm working it out on your behalf, not XYZ is coming, not your future is better than where you are right now. None of that, all of that prophetic, philosophical stuff that we want to hear and all of that, none of that. All he said was, trust me. And that was September of 2023. We're now in January of 2025. If I tell you what God has done in my life in the last 3 months on that very job that I wanted to leave, it will blow your mind. It will blow your mind. Culminating with this past week of being named senior vice president of that same company that I wanted to leave, that same company that I was so distraught because I wasn't appreciated and I was tired and it was such a bad work culture and just all of these different things, all these excuses that I had. But he said to trust him. Because see, he knew what was coming down the pike. He knew that company would be acquired by another company. He knew what he was going to do for me in the midst of staying and trusting him in that place. And I'm so grateful. I am so grateful that he took the time to correct me in not talking to him and not coming to him because I stood and I trusted him as he told me to. It is like a whole brand new day. It is like day and night difference. It is that I actually enjoy my job now. It is amazing what God has done. But here's the key. I could not continue to look in the place where I was. I couldn't stay in that negative place. I had to be refreshed and renewed. I actually went to um uh uh uh, what do I call it? Next level experience. I went to an experience. I went to a place to try to change my mindset, to get me together. It was a 2-day experience that I did. And it transformed how I was acting on the job. I had gotten into a place where I wasn't giving my all because I was frustrated in where I was. Please hear me. This is a testimony for somebody. You need to change your mindset. You need to first and foremost talk to God. Is this the place that you have me? And if it is, then help me refresh my mind. Help me get me straight so that I can move forward and be the representative of you that I need to be. I had gotten to a place that I was misrepresenting my father because I was not doing my job unto him, because I was walking in my own frustrations. So I'm saying all of this to say to you, it is a new year. Refresh, reset. You want supernatural success in your life that comes from your intimacy with God. I am literally experiencing supernatural success in my life on every level of life. Currently, I'm walking out Amos 9. Let me read it to you. I pulled this up earlier because I shared it on another broadcast. But Amos 9 and 9, 13 through 15. And I want to read to you out of the Message Bible. I'm sorry. And here's what it says. Amos 9, 13 through 15. Yes, indeed, it won't be long now. God's decree. Sorry. Excuse me. This is God's decree in your life currently, right now. Hear me, because this is a prophetic word for somebody that's watching me. Yes, indeed, it won't be long now. And I can say it is a prophetic word because I have been confessing this word over my life, and I am now walking and living in the manifestation of it. Here's the word. Things are going to happen so fast your head will spin. Oh, it says your head will swim. Same difference. Your head will swim, it'll spin. One thing fast on the heels of the other. You won't be able to keep up. Everything will be happening at once. And everywhere you look, blessings. Blessings like wine pouring off the mountains and hills. I will make everything right again for my people. And it says for my people Israel, but I'll be willing to say for my people, for my child, and put your name on it. I will make everything right again for my child Coilette. This is an example. Say it with your name in it. I will make everything right again for my people Israel. Here's what he said he was going to make right. He said they will rebuild their ruined cities. They will plant vineyards and drink good wine. They will work their gardens and eat fresh vegetables. And I will plant them in their own land. I promise you, I'm experiencing it. They will never again be uprooted from the land I've given them. God, your God, says so. Your God is who has decreed this over you. Your God is the one that's going to do this over your life. Blessings upon blessings upon blessings. I am a walking, living, breathing epistle to testify that this is truth, that he will do it. Because if he's doing it in my life and he is no respecter of persons, he'll do it in yours. Here is the key: having the faith to trust and believe in his faithfulness. See, our faithfulness wanes. We're not always faithful. We're not always just. We're not always correct. But the faith of God never fails. The faithfulness of God never ends. He is always yet faithful to his babies, and you're his child. So you need to stay in that posture of walking in his faithfulness. Walk in it. Walk therein always. Continue in his faithfulness. Do not take down. Do not let anything discourage you or dissuade you from the faithfulness of God. It won't always feel good. It won't always look on the outside like he's moving. But I promise you, he is. He is always moving. You have to get to a place where, in spite of what you see, in spite of what you hear, in spite of what it appears to be, that you trust him explicitly. Explicitly have faith in God. And what is your faith based on? His faithfulness, not yours. Okay? You believe him. It says that without faith, Hebrews 11 says that without faith, it is impossible to please God. Why? Because you first must believe that he is. Second, you must believe that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So, what is also there that you may not read, but is implied, if you believe that he is, and you believe that he will reward you for diligently seek him, then you have to believe in his faithfulness towards you, because he must be faithful to you to reward you for your diligence, for diligently trusting him, for diligently walking it out, for diligently believing that he is who he says he is. I'm sorry. And we have to walk and understand that it is the faithfulness of God that we are walking in. It is the faithfulness of God that is carrying us. It is the faithfulness of God that will see us to the finish line. He said that he knows the plans that he has for you, plans for hope and for an expected end. That expected end is not in your expectation, it is in his. What does he expect to accomplish through your life? He already had laid it out before he dropped you in this time millennium at this appointed time in the world. In eternity, he had already mapped it out. So you have to believe in his faithfulness. You have to stand firm in the faithfulness of God, because his faithfulness will help you to stand faithful to him. So I want to implore you, I want to encourage you to walk in renewal in this new year. We walk in being refreshed in this new year, but in your renewal and in your refreshing, it is all about you giving even more of yourself to God. He's giving you all of him. What have you given him in return? He wants all of you. And when you surrender and you give all of you to him, you will without a doubt experience his supernatural success. And that is what I want for you. And that is what your Father has for you. And all I need you to do is to embrace his love and return your love to him. And supernatural success is yours in 2025. I love you with the love of Christ. You can't do a thing about it. And I'm grateful that we will do life together in 2025. Be successful in God. God bless.